So oftentimes in Buddhist teachings we talk about merit or good fortune. Good fortune or merit or good karma is what is created when we engage in virtuous actions. Whenever we engage in beneficial actions like this, motivated by patience, loving kindness, compassion, we fill our subtle consciousness with virtuous potentials or good karma that are the main cause of experiencing happiness and fulfilling our wishes. Okay? So the more we engage in virtuous actions, the more causes we fill of happiness we fill our mind with. And also, as Buddha said, those who have great good fortune or merit can easily fulfill their wishes. If we don't have much merit or good fortune coming from previously accumulated virtuous actions, we experience many obstacles in our life. Our wishes are not fulfilled, our ambitions are not realized, and so forth. So if we really want to fulfill our wishes, especially our wishes for happiness and freedom, we need to engage in as many virtuous actions as possible, meaning with virtuous intention coming from peaceful, positive minds. This will make ourselves and others happy, both now and in the future. But one of the invisible faults of anger is that anger, remember I said it's like a fire in the mind, and just like a fire can destroy like forest and trees, houses, everything very quickly, like devastate an area. So the fire of anger can easily destroy and devastate our previously accumulated good fortune. Okay? It just like destroys it in the mind, and then it destroys that potential that we had to fulfill our wishes and experience happiness. So we need to protect our mind from anger. We can, by dedicating our virtuous actions through dedication prayers. For example, if we engage in some virtuous actions and think, through this virtue, may I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all. Then Buddha said, through dedication prayer, we can protect those virtuous potentials from anger and so forth. A little bit like putting our virtuous potentials behind like a firewall, okay? You know, that fire of anger can lay waste to the causes of happiness within our mind. And you know what? Sometimes we can feel it. Like if you've ever become really, really angry, and then it finally goes away. I mean, you just feel there's like an anger hangover, and it just feels like it's just destroyed a bunch of positivity, because it has, you know. But it's an invisible danger of anger. We can't really see it, okay? But as Venerable Geshe says, there are many visible faults of this delusion, and we need to develop patience. However, let me read this. The destruction of merit is one of the invisible faults of anger, and therefore something we can only accept on faith. There are, however, many visible faults of this delusion, and the need to develop patience will become obvious when we look at some of these more manifest shortcomings. So let's look at a few of these before we do some meditation. Anger is by nature a painful state of mind. Whenever we develop anger, our inner peace immediately disappears, and even our body becomes tense and uncomfortable. It's true, you know. You know, a lot of our stress is a little bit of like a mixture of like anger and worry, anxiety, and like our body becomes very tense, you know, because those minds, like they cause that tension in our body, which also makes, so the mind itself is an uncomfortable mind, and it makes also the body become uncomfortable. We are restless. We are so restless that we find it nearly impossible to fall asleep. And whatever sleep we do manage to get is fitful and unrefreshing. It's like we're torturing ourselves through this way of thinking. You know, we think if I could just win that argument, if I could just show them how they're wrong, everything would be good. But actually, if we could just overcome our anger, everything will be good.